Watashi wa san, 30 es san con 10, ju, de hachi, 38, ¿ok? 38 es 38, pero con hachi y la palabra por años, sai, tiene un poco irregularidad. Tiene que hacerlo con 38 como esto. 38 です. Ok, yo tengo 38 años. Watashi wa 38 歳です. 38歳です. Okay, 38歳です. This is how to say your age. Okay, so I am 38. So I will say I am 38 years old. 私は38歳です. 私は38歳です. Okay? So let's try for you to make your age. Okay? Remember, you just need the numbers. The first number will represent the tens column, need you. So the ni would be representing 2, and the ju would be representing 10, so 2 tens, 20, okay? And then you just add whatever number, 28, ni, ju, hachi, okay? But as we can see, it's irregular, okay? So let's try saying your age. Watashi wa desu. Watashi wa dada sai desu. Okay? So this part is the number. Eso es el número. Pues para la edad tiene que decir sai. Okay? Watashi wa 38歳です. 彼は22歳です. 彼女は64歳です. Okay? Like this. So can you say your age? If you can, please try writing it in the comments. Okay? Podemos escribirlo en los comentarios. Okay? Dentro del chat. Please write. Okay. Okay. So, okay, so let's remember the people in our family. Okay, last time we looked at family as well. Vamos a repasar las personas de la familia. Okay, so please listen and repeat. Escuche y repiten, por favor. Oji-san. Oji-san. This is abuelo or grandfather. Eso es abuelo o grandfather. Oba-san. Oba-san. Okay. Be careful with these long vowels. Tiene que tener cuidado con eso. Vocales doble, con esos vocales dobles, porque es un sonido más largo. Es como dura 2 veces. Dice por 2 veces más. No es A, es A. ¿Ok? Eso también no es I, es I. Okay, so be careful to double the length of the sound. Okay, in some cases, especially these 2 cases, if you don't double the sound, it becomes a different word. Okay, en algunos casos, si no dura 2 veces más, ese sonido no dura 2 veces más, cambia, la palabra cambia en otra palabra. Okay, oji-san y oji-san son palabras diferentes. ¿Ok? Ok. Let's look at father. For father, we have お父さん、お父さん、お母さん、お母さん、お兄さん、お兄さん、お姉さん、お姉さん、弟、弟、妹、妹、娘、娘、息子、息子. Okay? So you might notice that the words that are older than you, all of the people who are older than you have a san on the end. Okay? Las personas que son mayores de tú tienen un san al final. Eso san es una expresión de respeto y por eso las personas más que son mayores de tú tienen que decir san. ¿Ok? Ok. Vamos a practicar un poco hablando de la familia. ¿Ok? Vamos a practicar. So let's try talking about our families. ¿Ok? Watashi no kazoku wa where is the thing? Okay. Oops. 私の家族は何人ですか？私の家族は6人です。私の家族は6人です。Okay, so let's try. Please try writing. Okay. ¿Cuántas personas están en tu familia? Tu familia tiene cuántas personas? 6. Para mí es 6. 私の家族は6人です。Okay, so let's try combining this. How many people? Okay, 私の家族は3人です。4人です。5人です。6人です。Okay? Let's try writing that in the chat. Podemos escribirlo en el chat. Okay? 私の家族はです。And then let's say which people are in our family. Okay? ¿Cuáles son las personas en la familia? Por ejemplo, para mí, Oto-san, my father, o padre, Oto-san, to, Oka-san, to, One-san, hermana mayor, to, Ototo, okay, little brother, hermano menor, to, Musco, Musco, to, Watashi desu. Okay? So these are the people in my family. Can you write about the people in your family? Watashi no kazoku wa desu. Okay? Watashi no bai wa 6人です。お父さんとお母さんとお姉さんと弟と息子と私です。私です。Okay? So just list the people with to in between. To is like and between nouns. Okay? Tenemos que crear un listo de las personas con to entre los nombres. To es como i entre nombres. Oji-san to oba-san es abuelo y abuela. Okay? Tiene que incluir el to. Okay, so let's try writing in the comments. All right, so now please try to repeat after me. You can change this hair to represent how many people, okay? Vamos a escuchar y repetir. Podemos cambiar eso para decir cuántas personas están en tu familia, ¿ok? Para mí es roku, es 6 personas, pero podemos decir 4 yonin o 5 gonin para tú, ¿ok? Escuchen y repiten, por favor. Listen and repeat. Watashi no kazoku wa 6人です。私の家族は6人です。Okay, so next we're going to try saying the people, okay? Entonces vamos a decir qué son las personas, okay? Las personas, los nombres de las personas, okay? O tosa, o casa, okay? Y tenemos que incluir el to para representar y, okay? So don't forget the to to say and. Okay, for me, it's oto-san to, oka-san to, one-san to, ototo to, musuko to, watashi desu. Okay, so can you try saying out loud, who are the people in your family? Okay. ¿Cuáles son las personas en tu familia? Okay, try to say. Okay, so could you get it? Was it okay? Were you able to say the people in your family? Okay. No problema, no tiene problemas con la familia. It's okay? Okay. Pues, let's talk about how people are. Okay. Entonces vamos a describir la personalidad de las personalidades de las personas, ¿ok? Y las características físicas, ¿ok? Okay, so first we have tall, alto o alta. Eso es sega takai. Sega takai. Okay. And short o corta. Okay. Sega hikui. Sega hikui. Okay. And then we have smart. Okay, so say inteligente. Atama ga ii. Atama ga ii. Okay. And funny or divertente. Okay. Una persona divertente. Es omoshiroi. Omoshiroi. Y eso puede decir también interesante, ¿ok? Esa palabra, omoshiroi, puede decir también interesante. You can also use omoshiroi to mean interesting. In fact, it really means interesting. There's not quite a word for what we consider funny in Japanese, so they just say you're an interesting person, okay? The next one, serious, okay? Y pues tenemos seriosa o serioso. Eso es majime. Okay, so let's just try those first 5. Vamos a repasar esos primeros 5 palabras. Sega takai. Sega takai. Sega hikui. Sega hikui. Atama ga ii. Atama ga ii. Omoshiroi. Omoshiroi. Majime. Majime. Okay. let's look at 5 more characteristics. Pues vamos a repasar 4 other characteristics. Cuatro otras características de personalidad y características físicas. ¿Ok? Kawaii. Kawaii. So kawaii is cute. ¿Ok? Es como lindo, linda para niños o para las mujeres. ¿Ok? No se dice con hombres. Kawaii. And the next one, you can, when you pronounce it, you'll notice it sounds similar to English. This word is taken from English. Okay. Y la siguiente palabra, suena un poco como inglés porque viene del inglés. Okay. Handsome. Handsome. Okay. And it's just handsome. Okay. O guapo. And the next one is nice, or let's repeat nice. Yasashi. Yasashi. Okay. And the next one is shy. Okay, so es tímido. Pero también hay un sentido de avergonzado. Okay. So this is shy, but it also has the sense of embarrassed. Okay. Hazukashi. Hazukashi. Okay, so let's just do the 4 at the bottom again. Vamos a repasar esos 4. Kawaii, handsome, yasashi, hazukashi. Okay, to differentiate with hazukashi, if you want to describe a personality trait, it might be better to also include hito, which is person. He's a timid person. Because if you just say he is hazukashi, it might have a bit of a sense of embarrassed. He feels embarrassed right now. So if you want to specify that you mean shy and not embarrassed, you could include the word hito. Okay. Con esa palabra, hazukashi, como he dicho, tiene 2 sentidos, un sentido de tímido y un sentido de avergonzado. Y por eso, si quiero decir es tímido y no avergonzado, podemos incluir la palabra hito. Hito significa persona. Y por eso llega a decir una persona tímida y no que en ese momento se siente avergonzado. Okay. Okay. So now let's try to put the 2 things together. We learned about our family. We learned our numbers. Okay. Let's put these 2 things together with personality traits. Okay, so it's going to be a long haul. Let's try it. Okay. 私の家族は6人です。お父さんとお母さんとお姉さんと弟と息子と私です。お父さんは背が低いです。お母さんは頭がいいです。お姉さんは優しいです。弟は真面目です。息子は面白いです。Okay, so this is talking about my family. So let's do it again while looking at this. 私の家族は6人です。お父さんとお母さんとお姉さんと弟と息子と私です。お父さんは背が低いです。お母さんは頭がいいです。お姉さんは優しいです。弟は真面目です。 息子は面白いです。Okay? So let's try describing members of your family. Okay? What could you say about the people in your family? ¿Qué podemos decir sobre las personas en tu familia? Por ejemplo, mi abuelo es muy divertente. Oじいさんは面白いです. Okay? O mi padre es muy alto. お父さんは背が高いです. My little sister is very smart. Okay? Mi hermana menor es muy inteligente. 妹は頭がいいです. So let's try writing in the chat. Okay? Podemos escribir en el chat cosas sobre su familia. Okay? Esas personas en tu familia, ¿qué personalidad tienen? ¿Qué características físicas tienen? Okay? Y por supuesto, si tienes preguntas, en cualquier momento puede escribirlo en el chat. Okay? So please write any questions you have at any time in the chat. It's okay. I will check and we will solve any problems you have. Okay? So can you write about your family? Okay? 息子は面白いです. 娘は頭がいいです. Inteligente. She's very smart. Okay, let's try writing about our families. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Okay. We're going to try talking about food. Okay. Talking about food. So we looked at some food previously. Let's just try looking at ordering food today. Okay. So first, I don't know why this is here. Okay. This should be, sorry. Okay, fine. Let's look at these foods. So first we have steak. Okay. Eso es bisteca. We say in Japanese, this word comes from English. We say steaky. Steaky. Okay. And we're going to do the price at the same time. So this is 2,100 yen, 2,100 yen. Okay. So we're going to say 2,000 and then yen. Okay. Sorry, 2,000 and then 100 yen. It's very simple. Ok, vamos a decir el precio también. Es solo 2,1000 y pues 100. Ok. 2,100 yen. 2,100 yen. Ok, 2,100 yen. 2,100 yen. Ok. So, ステーキは2,100円です. Okay. Okay. So, let's look at the other, the next one. Okay. Vamos a pasar al siguiente, que es, como en inglés, pizza. Pizza. Okay. This one is just like in English, pizza. Okay. Well, not just like in English, but it looks like English, sounds like English, pizza. Okay. And we're going to try this price as well. So it's 1,900. So we're going to say 1,900. Okay. Ese precio es 1,900. Vamos a decir 1,900. Okay. 1,900円です。Okay, 1,900円。ピザは 1900 yen. Okay. So let's look at the next one. This is lasagna. Of course, this also uses the pronunciation, foreign pronunciation, as it's not something that existed in Japan. Okay. Y eso es lasagna. Y vamos a esa palabra. Va a utilizar la pronuncia extranjero. Porque no tenemos lasagna en Japón. Es una cosa extranjera. Ok. Entonces, lasagna. Lasagna. Ok. Y eso cuesta, the price is 1,600. Ok. Es 1,600. Ok. Do you know? 1,600. Can you think of it? Okay, let's try. 1,600 yen. Okay, so there's a little trick here. I'm going to write it down for you. Sometimes, I showed you already with Sanju Hassai, my age, we have words that when they join together, they change. Okay? Sen plus roku plus hyaku. Okay? This becomes sen ropyaku. Okay? It's a thing about pronunciation. It's difficult to say rokuhaku. It's just too much. Rokuhyaku. Rokuhyaku. So we just join them together so we can say them. Sen ropyaku. Ropyaku. Okay? Why did we end up with a P? In Japanese, the H goes either to B or P. Okay, some words it goes to B, sometimes it goes to P. It's just because it's the same mouth, but different sound. Ha, ba, pa, same, just a different movement in your vocal cords, or putting the lips together. Ha, ba, pa, all the same sound. Okay, so that's why it changes to that, to make it easier. Okay, y eso es H va a cambiar en B o P porque es el mismo sonido. Sonido es solamente que es la misma boca. Es solamente que tiene que usar las vocales o no. Ok, ha, ba, pa. Son los mismos, ¿ok? Y por eso, cuando quiero una palabra más fácil a decir, el H va a cambiar en B o en P, ¿ok? Senropyaku. Lasagna es senropyaku. Lasagna wa senropyaku yen desu. Senropyaku yen desu. Okay. How about the next one? Okay, we're going to call this pasta. How much does pasta cost? So it's quite complicated here. We have 1,000, and then we have 100. So 1,000, 100. Then we have 80. So 8, 10. 1,000, 100, 8, 10. Okay. Ese precio es un poco complicado porque tenemos 1,000. Y entonces pues tenemos 100 y pues es 80. 80 es 8 con 10. Okay, so let's try the price for this pasta. Okay, 1,180 yen. 1,180 yen. Okay, パスタは1180円です。パスタは1180円です。Okay. Okay, the next thing, again, a Western food. So it uses a Western Western-ish pronunciation. ¿Ok? Eso también es una cosa del oeste y por eso la palabra japonesa también viene del oeste. ¿Ok? Hamburger. Hamburger. So it's like the English hamburger. Hamburger. Okay. So what is the price? ¿Cuánto cuesta? Okay, we have 7, 5, and then 10. Okay. So 7 with 100, 5, 10. Okay. Es 7 con 100 y 5 con 10. Okay. So let's try making this number. Can you try? Can you try? Can you figure out this number? ¿Eso número? ¿Puede decirlo? Ok, vamos a probarlo juntos. Okay, let's try it together. 750 円. 750 円. Okay. 750 yen. Okay. 750 円.ハンバーガーは750円です。ハンバーガーは750円です。Okay. And the last one is mac and cheese. Let's call this macaroni. Okay. This doesn't really exist in Japan, but let's call it macaroni and say the price. Okay. So macaroni would be macaroni. Macaroni. Okay. And the price, let's try the price. So we have 960, which would be 9 by 100, followed by 6 by 10. Okay. Eso es 960. Tiene que decir 9 con 100 y 6 con 10. Okay. Okay. Can you try? What is 960? Okay. Pruébalo. Ese 960. ¿Cómo se dice en japonés? Let's try thinking. Did you get it? Okay. ¿Podemos decirlo? 960 円. 960 円. Okay. Okay. Let's try having a conversation, okay, in a restaurant. So one of the lines has disappeared. I'll just write it again. Okay, the first line of this conversation is irashaimase. This is a Japanese word that means like welcome, but you only use it in a shop context. So, come in. It's like come in, really. So you could use it in a shop. Sometimes you can use it in any other business. Please come in. Okay. Esa palabra significa como entrar, por favor. Entren, por favor. Es una palabra que se usa mucho en las tiendas. En todas las tiendas dicen irashaimase. Okay. Remember when you see a double letter, a double consonant, you have to pause. So it's like E. It's not ira, it's just ida. Okay, and then you have another pause here. Okay, rashaimase. Irashaimase. Okay, so let's try this conversation. Okay, vamos a probar esa conversación. Okay. Listen and repeat. Repiten, por favor. Irashaimase. Irashaimase. Konnichiwa. こんにちは。ラーメンがありますか？ラーメンがありますか？はい。ラーメンあります。ラーメンあります。いくらですか？いくらですか？ 900 円です。900円です。はい。ラーメンください。はい。ラーメンください. Okay, so this conversation is just a typical conversation for ordering food in a restaurant. Okay, we'll go over it in a second. Let's go over this conversation. What am I doing wrong? Okay. Okay. Okay, esa conversación es una conversación típica para comandar la comida en un restaurante. Okay, let's try finding out the meaning. Okay, vamos a pasar a la significa. ¿Qué significa esa conversación? Okay, so irashaimase is como bienvenido a nuestra tienda. Okay, the irashaimase is like welcome to our store. Konnichiwa is a greeting. Eso es un saludo. Konnichiwa durante el día. Okay, so in the middle of the day, we use konnichiwa. Ramen ga arimasu ka? Ramen ga arimasu ka? So arimasu means there is. Okay, does it exist? Okay, so do you have ramen is the non-literal translation. Okay, eso arimasu significa existe esa cosa y existe ramen, pero es como, ¿tienen ramen? Do you have? Okay, ¿tiene ramen? ¿Hay ramen? Okay. De, hi, ramen arimasu. Hi, ramen arimasu. Yes, we have ramen. Okay, sí, tenemos ramen. Hay ramen. Ikura desu ka? Ikura desu ka ga. This means ikura is how much? For a price, okay? Con los precios pueden decir ikura para cuánto cuesta, ikura desu ka, okay? And this one is simply saying the price, okay? Eso es solamente el precio en es el dinero en Japón, okay? Se dice yen in English, in inglés. So this N is just yen in English. So this is just the price, okay? How much is it? It's 900 yen. And this last one is please give me ramen. Kudasai. Okay, kudasai means do something for me, give something to me. Okay, hi, ramen kudasai. Eso es, yo quiero ramen. Eso kudasai es como dame o hace algo para mí. Okay, dame, hace eso para mí, hace eso para mí. Okay, kudasai. Hi, ramen kudasai. Okay. All right, so let's try changing this. Okay, so we'll try one time repeating after me. We'll change it according to this menu. Okay, vamos a cambiar eso ramen para algo en el menú. Okay, vamos a probarlo con escuchen y repiten una vez y pues yo voy a hacer A y tú puedes decir B, B y vamos a practicar una conversación. Okay, so first let's just try repeating after me. Irashaimase. Konnichiwa. ハンバーガーがありますか？はい、ハンバーガーあります。いくらですか？いくらですか？750円です。はい、ハンバーガーください。Okay, so this time we're going to try, and you can choose a food, okay? You can choose a food. Y esa vez yo voy a decir A y puede decir B, puede cambiar la comida. We have steaky, 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 okay? Steaky, pizza, pizza, lasagna, lasagna, pasta, pasta, hamburger, hamburger, macaroni, macaroni. Okay, so we have these. Okay, you can use any of them, and the prices: 2,100 yen, 2,100 yenes es 2,100 yen. 1,900 yen or 1,900 yenes es 1,900 yen. 1,900 yen. Okay. 1,600 yen or 1,600 600 es 1,600 yen. 1,600 yen. Okay. The 1,180 is, or 1,100 80 yenes es 1,180. 1,180 yen. 750, 750, 750 yen, and 960, 960, 960 yen. Okay, 960 yen. Okay, so I will say A. Please say something from B. Voy a decir A y tú puedes decir algo, cambiar algo y decir B. Okay. いらっしゃいませ。はい、あります。I'm just going to pick a random price. Voy a decir algo. Es 1,180 円です。Okay. Okay. So let's just recap quickly what we learned today. We reviewed, okay. Voy a repasar las cosas que hemos aprendido hoy. Los números desde 1 hasta 10,000. Okay, so we learned numbers from 1 to 10,000. And remembered how to say our age. Y también podemos decir la edad. Okay. We learned how to say the members of our family. Y los miembros de la familia. Oji-san, oba-san, oto-san, oka-san, oni-san, one-san, ototo, imoto, musuko, musume. Okay. And we also learned how to say things about their physical and personality, characteristics of their personality as well. Okay. Y podemos decir cosas de su física, su cuerpo y de su personalidad. Se ga takai, se ga hikui, atama ga ii, omoshiroi, majime, kawaii, handsome, yasashi, hazukashi. Okay? And we learned something about food. Okay? How to say prices, large numbers, and also how to say the names of some food. Okay? Y aprendimos sobre la comida, cómo decir los precios en japonés y también cómo decir las comidas, algunas comidas, ¿ok? Steak, pizza, lasagna, pasta, hamburger, macaroni, okay? So we learned a lot of things today. I hope it has been useful for you and that you can use these things if you ever need to use them in Japanese, okay? Thank you very much for joining us today. Muchas gracias para compartir ese tiempo conmigo y muchas gracias para escoger aprender japonés y con italki. Thank you for learning Japanese on italki. I hope to see you again soon. Okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for your hard work. お疲れ様でした。
For beginners to mix them up. So remember this. When you start to conjugate the verbs, they have to match. The second rule is very important as well. The Spanish nouns and adjectives has to be in the same level. Let me explain you this. If you have a noun that is feminine and plural, for example, las mujeres, the adjective that you have to use right after the noun has to be feminine and plural as well. For example, las mujeres españolas. It is the same with the articles las, female and plural. We use this article because, as I say, it's female and plural. The third rule I already mentioned before, and be careful, English speakers, because the adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, not before like in English. This is very common for students that learn Spanish and already speak or know English. When I say it, las mujeres españolas, españolas is the adjective, and I put it after las mujeres. In English, it would be the Spanish woman, but not in Spanish. Okay, there are some occasions where the adjectives go before the nouns. That is true, but normally this use comes out at intermediate level or advanced level, so do not worry when you are a beginner. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel over here. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego! Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com, and today I will be talking about 7 Spanish words that are similar to their English counterpart. These words are also known as cognates. What a cognate is? A cognate is a word that has the same linguistic derivation that another word, and it looks similar, and when you pronounce it, it sounds almost the same. And here I will give you 7 cognates so you can use them in Spanish as well. The first one is alcohol in Spanish. Guess you know what it means because it sounds pretty similar than in English, doesn't it? Number 2 is conclusión. This one has a different pronunciation in Spanish, but you will understand definitely when you start learning Spanish. Number 3, hobby. This one is completely similar. We basically took this word from English. Number 4, individual. Of course, it's the same word, just different pronunciation. The next one, number 5, is piercing. Yes, we use this word with the same pronunciation and meaning. Next one, number 6, is informal. I like to use this one in my lessons to explain ways to greet and say goodbye because it's similar in English and is a word that the students understand very quickly. And the last are some words related to sports. If you're learning Spanish and you like sports, you're lucky because most of the words are cognates like football, tennis, baseball, volleyball, hockey, water polo, golf, surf, and so on. As you can see, almost all sports are cognates. So, talking about your hobbies should not be difficult. As you can see, there are many, and I would like to remember you that there are hundreds of cognates, and if you check them, you can be ready to your first Spanish lesson. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel for more tips on learning Spanish. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego!
Hi everyone, it's Caroline here and I teach English on italki. Today I am going to be talking about business idioms or idioms you might hear in your office or in your workplace. A student asked me a really good question the other day. He asked me whether, because I'm a native English speaker, do I know every single idiom? And the answer is no. Idioms are phrases or expressions that come from a particular place or a particular age group. So idioms are different in the UK to idioms in the United States. I have chosen 5 business idioms to talk to you about today, and you may hear them in an office in the UK or in the States. So hopefully they will be super useful for you. Idiom number 1 is the big picture. Imagine you go into a meeting and your boss says to you, you've lost sight of the big picture. What does that mean? That means that you are thinking too much about the small details of the project, and you are so interested in those little details that you don't remember what it is you're trying to achieve. So always keep sight of the big picture. The second idiom is to go the extra mile. Now imagine you're in an interview and the interviewer says to you that they are looking for someone who always goes the extra mile. What does that mean? Does it mean they want you to run around the office every day? No, it means they want you to do more than just what is in the job description. They want you to go that little bit further and to take on extra responsibilities. That is going the extra mile. The third idiom is a win-win situation. A win-win situation means everybody gains something. A really good example of this is these videos that I'm making for italki. italki gains some content for their website, some lessons for their learners, and I have a platform where students can see me and book lessons with me. It's a win-win. italki wins and Caroline wins. The fourth idiom is word of mouth. So an example of this is, think about how you found out about italki. Did you find italki by searching on Google, or did you find italki because one of your friends recommended it to you? Recommendations from friends are word of mouth. It can be positive or it can be negative. If your company gets bad word of mouth, it is going to be a very difficult time for your company. because people really listen to the opinions of their friends. So make sure whatever you do, you have good word of mouth about it. The fifth and final business idiom is to touch base. My manager used to say this to me a lot. To touch base means to have a very quick and short meeting about a project or something that you are working on. It might only be 5 minutes of your time, but in that time, you will check that your understanding of the project is the same as your manager's understanding of the project. So I have a challenge for you. In your next lesson, I want you to ask your teacher if you can touch base about what you have learned in your lesson so far. This could be 5 minutes at the end of the lesson where you review all of the different subjects that you have been studying. You're touching base about the things you have covered so far. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to italki by clicking somewhere. And you can take a lesson with me by clicking on my teacher profile in the description box. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Welcome back to the Stop Being Boring When Speaking English video series. When speaking to native English speakers, it's useful to use a variety of vocabulary to make your conversation sound more interesting and flow. Why not spice up your language a little bit and impress others with your speaking abilities? In this next video, we will take a look at some American and British slang.
Number 1, American. John Hancock.
John Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a person,
It's a name of a person, yes.
and it's American slang.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it means?
I just got John Hancock. Does it mean like wasted?
Certainly not.
Give me an example.
Okay, so can I please have your John Hancock at the bottom of this paper? Come on, you gotta get it now.
Is it your signature?
Yes, you got it! That was easy.
Okay, awesome. Number 1, British. Peak. What does peak mean?
Like, taking a peek.
No, that's
Sorry, that's not taking a peek.
That's not slang.
This is taking a peek.
But that's just like taking a peek. That's not slang.
Oh,
Like in a slang
peak.
context.
Like the peak of a mountain? That's not slang. That's actually
Yeah, that is the peak of a mountain.
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, let me give you an example. So say you go out one night and you lose your purse, your keys.
Is it like the most horrible situation you can be in?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, that's so peak. You'd be like, oh, yeah. How was your night? It was so peak.
I just got fired. That's so peak.
Exactly.
Cool.
So it's like the peak of badness, I guess.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the peak.
2, American. Jacked.
Jacked. Does that mean like hench?
What is henchman?
Like say you go to the gym.
Don't answer back with the slang word.
So the British equivalent of jacked would be hench, I think. So if someone's like really ripped.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So hench.
Go to the gym, work out a
They're
lot.
like, whoa, look at him, he's so jacked.
We would say hench. Number 2, British. Peng. Peng.
Peng.
Peng. P-E-N-G. Peng.
Like someone being penged on the head with something? Or
Peng.
just thinking of bang and peng kind of similar, I don't know.
I guess it's a little similar. No.
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, say you're eating a cake, it's delicious, you can say, oh, this is peng.
Does it just mean delicious?
You could use it in other contexts as
Just
well.
mean like it hits the spot, you know?
Yeah, but I could also say that your eyes are peng, or a person is peng.
Just mean like extraordinarily awesome.
Basically, if you're talking about a person, you might even say peng-ting.
Peng-ting.
Like he's a peng-ting.
Okay.
This is mostly
So
London.
then he's like a 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the top of top.
Yeah, basically.
Number 3, American. I blew it.
I blew it.
I blew it.
What a nightmare. I blew it.
Yeah.
So that means that you've completely ruined the situation.
Say like I didn't make it into school. So my parents will not be proud of me. I blew it.
Yeah, but you rocked up late to work. Not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm never late.
Number 3, British. Having a mare. Having a mare.
Having a mare, a nightmare, like horrible, real nightmare in reality, basically.
Very good. That's exactly
That
it.
was a lot easier than the previously.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd go with you. Having a mare. You were having a mare before.
I was having a mare,
Yeah.
before, not understanding anything she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. There's our British and American slang. Tell us what you thought of it. Did you understand it? And we'll see you next time.
My name is Vũ Nguyễn. Tên tôi là Vũ Nguyễn. It's really amazing thing for me. From italki, I can meet people around the world, and they can give me more energy to live and more inspiration to live the world also. Very magical, yeah. When I can go on lesson and I feel that I'm doing a very good job, and then working at home is a very wonderful thing. I think that I can do something, and I'm doing something here. I think that I can say idea and talk with people. That is the first motivation for me to come here. The second thing that I can have some money for my life to make my life become better and more comfortable. It's very wonderful website of italki because italki is the connection between every people in the world with each other. There are many purposes for us to learn a new language. Innovation is the most important. Not only study language, but also sharing idea and culture and everything else in the life. And through the learning and teaching, and we can share more idea and we can share our life better. You know that because each person have their own experience and their own knowledge and their own way of living. And when we meet new people, and we think that we are discovering a new universe or a new area or something like that.
So it's wonderful that we have this.
Okay. Hi there, everyone. My name is Nat, and I am a test preparation specialist here on italki. Now, please tell me where you are from, and today we are going to discuss books and legends. Okay, so tell me where in the world you are from. And welcome, David, from the country of fashion. So I'm going to assume that you are either from Italy or from France. Hi, Eduardo, how are you? And welcome. Okay, I know where you guys are from. So let's get cracking with our lesson today. Are you a bookworm? I'm well, thank you, Eduardo. And how are you doing today? I'm still in kind of lockdown. All right. So, are you a bookworm? Question 1, are you a bookworm? Yes or no? Let's get typing in the chat. Okay, I was right with the first one. So Italy, not France. Okay, so Italy is the fashion capital. And how's life in Italy? Well, hello, Saleha, and thank you for joining. Are you a bookworm? Okay. Okay, Eduardo, that's a pity. Have a good lunch, but thank you for popping in to say hello. I do appreciate it. So, are you a bookworm or not? Okay, so today's topic is books, legends, and more. We're going to do some vocabulary about books. Okay, so what words do you know about books? Any vocabulary that comes to mind when I mention books? anything. Go through the alphabet, starting with A, B, C, D, and go through it. And it seems like I'm not sharing my screen again. Okay. So let's take a look at vocabulary about books and my very pretty screen today. Right, vocabulary about books. So any vocabulary you can think of about books. And from my end, I'm going to up the ante and teach you some idioms about books. So a closed book, a topic or a person about which a topic or whom a person very little is known. So a closed book is a topic or person about which topic which or whom person very little is known about. Coronavirus is a closed book because we don't know much about coronavirus. All right. Now, which one's correct, A or B? North Korea is a closed book or the UK is a closed book? And don't be lazy. I am waiting for vocabulary about books from you guys. Let's see. Vocabulary, it's a page turner. Oh, you guys are good. Don't judge a book by its cover. Bookworm, but a slow bookworm? A slow worm. What is a slow worm? You read very slowly? Okay, I'm a bookworm. I love reading. Saleha. Okay. And Eduardo is still here. Okay. And vocabulary. And who do we have? Hi there. And I could you actually, the last person who's just said hello, Nas, hello to you too. If you could just try to explain to me how to say your name so that I can refer to you throughout the class, please. I can see that there's Ganah. So is that Gana or I don't want to say it wrong. All right. So my bookworm people, my book people, which one's a closed book, A or B? North Korea is a closed book or the UK is a closed book? And I think David said A is correct. So we have North Korea is a closed book. And the reason I say that is because very little is known about this country. North Korea is a closed book. They actually call it a hermit state. Hermit state. A hermit is someone who stays in isolation, kind of like me. Okay, I'm a bit of a hermit. Now, an open book, a topic or a person that's easy to understand or we know a lot about. All right, so an open book. Do you know anyone who is an open book? Do you know a person, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, who is an open book? Do you know anyone who is an open book? Let's put it into the chat. And of course, we did bookworm. A bookworm is a keen reader, someone who loves to read. By the way, someone said, page turner, that's fantastic vocabulary. Would you like to tell me what a page turner is? And someone said page turner. Okay. And Eduardo, if you haven't run off for lunch already, don't judge a book by its cover. Can you tell me what that means? Don't judge a book by its cover. Yes, North Korea is a closed book, Saleha. Okay. So the other question was, do you know anyone who is an open book? Page turner. Oh, it's a very interesting book, a book that you can't put down. I'm not sure if this is actually English, but sometimes we do say it's unput downable. All right, unput downable. I'm not sure that will appear in Oxford Dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary, Collins, but we sometimes say unputdownable. All right. So do you know anyone who is an open book? Someone that you know a lot about, someone who has no secrets. So an open book. Do you know anyone who is an open book? And I'll come back and check your answers just now. Another phrase that you can use, and this is particularly for any IELTS students out there. By the way, all of these idioms can be used in IELTS speaking, and actually you should, because in order to score band 7 and above for IELTS, you do need to use idiomatic language. So, in my book, if I say in my book, I mean in my opinion, okay? In my book. Now, let's look at usage. Now, which one is it? I live in Turkey in my book. I live in Turkey in my book. I live in Turkey in my book. Or, in my book, the vaccine for COVID-19 won't be affordable. Now, which one is correct? Remember, I said in my book is my opinion. So I live in Turkey in my opinion. Why is it an opinion? It's a fact. I live in Turkey in my book. So would that be correct? In my opinion, substitute in my book with in my opinion. So I live in Turkey in my book. In my book, the vaccine for COVID-19 won't be affordable. Which one sounds correct? In my book, A or B? And then for those of you who really want to push yourselves, how can we change the first sentence about Turkey to something which includes in my book? Let's go and see what you guys are saying. B is correct. Alex, well done. B is correct. Eduardo, you don't have to have a prejudice. You shouldn't have a prejudice based on what you see. You have to go deeper to understand something or someone. Wow, that's a really, really good explanation. Really comprehensive. Thank you, Eduardo. Now, I said, I live in Turkey in my book, okay? And I said, that's not really correct. So how can we make it correct? How can we correct that sentence? So I want to say something about Turkey and me and my opinion in my book. So can we make a sentence with Turkey, me, in my book? Anyone wants to try? Turkey is an amazing country in my book. Okay, Alex, oh, fantastic. Thank you, Alex. In my book, Turkey is a fascinating place. Perfect. Anyone else wants to try to create a sentence with Turkey and in my book? So your opinion about Turkey, your opinion about Turkey. In my book, you live in Turkey. Yeah, that makes sense because it's your opinion. You think maybe you're not sure. Okay, fantastic. Well done, you guys. Really well done. Okay, let's move on to more. And you guys asked for a lesson on books and legends. So you're going to have to help me there. Sorry. We're sharing all the wrong things today. The screen seems to be hopping around. All right. So one for the books, another idiom, one for the books, an extraordinary event that will be remembered. Okay. Is COVID-19 one for the books? And do you guys refer to it as COVID-19 or do you refer to it as coronavirus. I tend to say coronavirus, and now it's become CV because it's way too long to type. But what is one for the books? So an extraordinary event that will be remembered. I think last year, Ferrari won at Monza. That was one for the books. So can you tell me about an extraordinary event that is one for the books? An extraordinary event that you will always remember, that will be remembered by you. So one for the books. Anything, guys? And then my next question is, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer traditional books on the left, hard copies, paperbacks, traditional paper books, or do you prefer reading on a tablet, on a Kindle, or on your laptop, maybe even on your phone? So are you old school? Do you prefer reading traditional books where you can sit back and turn the pages and highlight and bookmark them and even use bookmarks? Or do you prefer reading on tablets like a Kindle or your iPad or something like that? So which one are you? Okay, Alex, your wife cooking dinner is one for the books. Okay, interesting. So it's quite an event. You should get out your camera and you should make a video, maybe put it on YouTube and make a fortune. Okay. And Eduardo, we tend to say coronavirus also. Okay, yeah. I think it started out as coronavirus, and so it's just stayed that way. And and well, hello, Erica, and good morning. So what time is it in your time zone? You prefer traditional books, so you are old school. Okay, that's interesting. The main reason that I prefer Kindle, I love my Kindle. The reason I prefer a Kindle is because I'm always traveling. Oh, okay, it's really early. So thank you for waking up and joining me. I have to be honest, if it was 7:12 in my time zone, I would not be awake. I would still be thinking about coffee, not even having coffee. But thank you, Erica. So I prefer Kindle because, and if you're an IELTS student, this is how you would answer it, okay? I prefer a Kindle because it is convenient. It's lightweight, and I can store multiple books on one device. So when I'm traveling, I don't have an issue with being overweight, especially when you get onto planes. And if you're carrying 10 books, you're going to be overweight. Have any of you had that experience where you check in your luggage and you are overweight? Does that happen to you once in a blue moon, or does it happen to you every time? It happens to me every single time. And the last time, the airline wanted to charge me, let me get this straight, about $35 a kilogram for overweight from South Africa to Turkey. So I prefer my Kindle. And Eduardo, let's see what you have to say. Traditional books are more romantic. Yeah, you can feel the paper and even the smell, but they take up too much space. Yeah, that's how I feel. Traditional books, digital books are definitely more convenient. So, Eduardo, what you are saying is that traditional books are a sensory experience. Okay, you can smell them, you can feel them, you engage more of your senses. All right, good job. whereas iPads or even the Kindle, they seem to be a little impersonal. Okay. Personally, I don't feel that way. I also love the convenience of getting a book immediately, looking for a book on Amazon, searching for it, and being able to download what I want in seconds. But it does take away from the whole experience of strolling through a bookshop. Okay, so we've got two different points of view. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next question. And it seems like our screens are jumping all over the place. Just let me know if everything's okay on your end, guys. All right. So thank you for answering that one, whether you prefer traditional books or you prefer digital books, tablets, and e-book readers. By the way, that's another IELTS writing topic. Now, who is your favorite author? JK, George Martin, Dan Brown. In case maybe it's possible you guys don't know all of these authors. So JK is, come on guys, yeah, Harry Potter. And George Martin is, yeah, Game of Thrones. And Dan Brown is everything else. Okay. Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Origins. I think sometimes the names are different in different countries. All right. And who is your favorite author? By the way, the woman in the picture is Jackie Collins, who wrote, not has written, who wrote, past tense because she passed away, who wrote all of those books and more. And I think sold more than 500 million copies in different languages. So a super author. All right. And who is your favorite character? So who's your favorite author? If it's not one of those on the list, then just go ahead and tell me who your favorite author is. And also who your favorite character is. Let's see what you guys have to say. So Ghana, it's okay, Dan Brown. And okay, let's see. I'm going to go backwards first to David. Digital books are quick and easy to get. Yeah, Amazon, and at the beginning of every month, Amazon has a whole lot of books for €1 and so many, maybe one under €2, and it's €2, okay, with an S. And Eduardo, how many times have I moved in my life? Okay, so I think for the first 17 years of my life, I didn't move at all. I grew up in one home, and then we moved to this fabulous house that my parents built, really beautiful home. And after that, in the years that followed, I think I moved house maybe every year for the next 5 years after I got married. And then kind of settled down in one place after that. And then when I started traveling and teaching abroad, I was in Changchun and I was there for a couple months. Then Beijing, and I went crazy in Beijing. I left after, I think, less than 2 months. And then I was done in Shenzhen, Hong Kong. Then in Istanbul, actually, I was in Istanbul for a long time, for maybe 4 or 5 years, and then Antalya. So I've moved a lot. So, Alex, I am now in Turkey, in Antalya. We are not in lockdown. This morning, we had some people playing football outside. It's very relaxed here. So back to Eduardo. I have moved many times in my life because I've been traveling the world, but also besides moving, I do travel a lot. Even though I'm based in Turkey, I tend to spend a lot of time in Italy, I go back to South Africa. I'm all over the place, which is why I love teaching on italki, teaching online, because I can travel, be on vacation, work at the same time. So I'm always working, even when I'm on vacation, even on weekends. And let's see. Okay, Gunnar, Dan Brown. We have Dan Brown fans in the house. And let's see, David. I definitely love all the books that he's written. Why do you guys love Dan Brown that much? I know I do, but why do you guys love Dan Brown that much? Yes, I agree with you, Eduardo. In the past, when I was in South Africa, I used to buy paper books. I love them, but they're just not convenient for my lifestyle anymore. And I'm always reading, whether I'm on a plane, before I go to sleep, or when I'm on vacation. I need books, and so the Kindle really works for me. Okay, let's get cracking with more questions. You guys are great. Thank you for participating and for commenting. What's your favorite genre? So I'm just going to say that based on the Dan Brown fans in the house, we're going to say maybe action, mystery, suspense, detective kind of books. So no one's really interested in travel books. Any self-help books? Anyone who likes self-help books? I do. I also like biographies. I think they're really interesting. I think I spoke about the Marilyn Monroe one yesterday. Right. What is the longest book you have ever read, and how long did it take you to read it? By the way, one of my favorite authors, and Pillars of the Earth. The Pillars of the Earth, the book's about maybe 1,000 pages, maybe even longer. It took me a weekend to read it. I really am a bookworm. So what is the longest book you have ever read, and how long did it take you to read it? And let's see what you guys have to say. Okay. So Gana, you studied Dan Brown at university. All right. So you love his works. Fantastic. Catch 22, Alex, was the longest book you've ever read. How long did it take you? They are usually unputdownable. Okay. And the plot is always appealing. Okay. And yeah, the pace of the books. Yeah, the pace of the books. Dan Brown books seem to go by very fast. Like there's always action. It's a page turner. Someone mentioned page turner. Dan Brown books are definitely page turners. Okay. And they really are unputdownable. It took you 5 days, Alex, to finish Catch 22. Fantastic. Has anyone in our group here stayed up all night to finish a book? Yeah, it was a page turner for you. I have to say that Pillars of the Earth was a page turner, yeah, for me. Has anyone stayed up all night to finish a book? Erica, the longest book is the Bible, and okay, you don't know when you're going to finish it. It's a work in progress. Okay. Yeah, that's the longest book that you have ever read. Okay, but you haven't finished it, so that you are reading. If I said you have read, it means you've completed it. Okay, just throwing in a bit of grammar into our class. How many books have you read in your life? Have you ever been to a book signing or met an actual author? So you can choose any of these to answer. And the last one, I'm just going to throw out 3 questions at a time so that while I am talking about the other things and discussing your comments, you can consider the other questions. Most people say the book is better than the movie. Is this true for you? Not just the Da Vinci Code. Books in general are better than the movies that are made about them. Game of Thrones, Da Vinci Code. And when it comes to Da Vinci Code, I agree. But in many cases, people do say that the book is better than the movie. Do you feel that way? Let me go back to the other questions. Have you ever been to a book signing or met an author? Yes to both for me. I've been to a few book signings. I've met the authors. My best friend is also an author and she signed her book for me. By the way, I'm in the book. She actually wrote about me, so I'm a character in the book. And how many books have I read in my life? Far too many to count. So you guys can answer those questions. How many books have you read in your life? Really too many to count? Have you ever been to a book signing or met an author? Yes and yes. And the last one, the book is better than the movie? Yes, yes. Which one specifically for me? It's Da Vinci Code. Let's see what you guys think about it. All right. So, Alex, we stopped with Alex and his catch-22 page turner, right? Okay, David. The longest Lord of the Rings, okay, 3 parts, also okay, but Pillars of the Earth was just one book. And Alex, I tried to read Lord of the Rings once, but got bored because it was too long and not my type of novel. You know, Alex, this is really interesting. I only read Lord of the Rings about 2 or 3 years ago, and that was because a little student of mine, I do teach young children sometimes, and it's this little student of mine who used to make me watch Lord of the Rings all the time. And it was a treat. If he did his homework, if he did his worksheets, if he behaved in class, I would watch Lord of the Rings with him. And so by watching the movie all the time, I decided to read the book, and I have to say the book was fantastic. Let's see. And so Alex, maybe you need to just try again. It's really, really good. And Saleha, books are better than movies. Okay. And Erica, books are better. Okay. And Saleha, what's the name of the book? It's by Jill Puckridge, and it's The Adventures of a Sextagenarian, something about in China. I've got the book here, so I'll send you the name after class. And yeah, I am in the book. And let's see, Gana, I don't think so, as movies are easy to listen to. Okay, so you prefer to just sit back and watch the movie. Okay, good job. And okay, so David loves the same kinds of books as I do. Erica, I have read it in Spanish. Okay, and about 20 in English. Well done. I can't say that I've read 20 books in Spanish, so well done. Books are more educational. You can increase your vocabulary and stuff. Okay, so grammar, in context, you learn style and so on. Good job, guys. Okay. And you don't want to tell me if you've been to any book signings, met any authors, or been in any books? No. Okay. Is there a book that you have read more than once? What was the title and how many times did you read this book? So is there a book that you've read more than once? What was the title and how many times did you read it? For me, it was Inferno. And I read it the first time when it was released. I got it, of course, on my Kindle, downloaded from Amazon, and I read it. I don't like reading books twice and 3 times. I prefer to read a new book. But I read Inferno a second time because I was going to Italy, and on this particular trip, I was going to Florence. So the book opens in Florence. Am I right? It's Inferno, which is set in Florence, not Origins. No, Inferno. And because, of course, you can see Florence in the background, silly me of the book, okay? So because I was going back to Florence, I wanted to read the book, and then I wanted to visit the places in the book. So yeah, I know I'm spoilt, and I'm really lucky to be able to do these things. I read the book a second time. I tend to do that if a book is set in a particular place. So have any of you read books a second time, or is it just you read a book once? Okay. So let's see. Alex, To Serve with Love was a better movie than the book. I don't know the movie. Any famous actors in it? Okay, and Saleha, I read all of Khalid Hosseini books more than once. Yeah, I think when it's books like that or Paulo Coelho and stuff, you need to read it a few times to really get it. Like the first time you read it, and the second time you understand it, and the third time you maybe start living it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Kite Runner, I think we studied Kite Runner at school. So, okay, 1984. The first time was in high school. Then I read it again when I was older. Yeah, exactly. To appreciate it, a better perspective. Okay, Alex, you loved Kite Runner, and Saleha loved Kite Runner because you guys did not have to study it like I did. Okay, maybe I'll try again. And Erica, I've read two books, Pride and Prejudice. Okay, in order to improve my English. Okay, that's fantastic. But I prefer books that are just a little faster paced. Okay, but yeah, Inferno, great book. Okay. Now, we're going to do some legends today. I promised, and I never lie. Okay, in Greek legend, what is the name given to the creature that is half man and half bull? Okay, start typing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm coming to check if you guys have actually typed anything. In Greek legend, what is the name given to the creature that is half man and half bull? And it's Minotaur. If you got that right, well done. No prizes for you. Next one. In Greek mythology, who died when he flew too close to the sun and the wax, holding together his artificial wings, melted? In Greek mythology, who died when he flew too close to the sun and the wax holding together his artificial wings melted? In case you guys think that I'm really, really smart, I Googled all of this, okay? I admit it, I Googled all of this. My knowledge of legends and mythology is not great. I have two actually that I'm pretty good at, and I'm going to tell you about those, but these I Googled. So if you get it right, it means you're smarter than I am. I may be able to speak English better than you do, but you're smarter than I am. Okay, and it was Icarus. And do we have one more? So this character, this Roman goddess of flowers and the spring, shares her name with margarine. Now, margarine is fake butter. I just love butter, not margarine. So does anyone know the name of this one? I've given you a clue. It should be easier. So she shares her name with a brand of margarine. She was the Roman goddess of flowers and the spring. Yep, Flora. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to let me check if you guys got any of this right before I tell you about some South African legends. Icarus, Flora. Wow, you guys are Saleha, Minita. Oh my God, Alex, Minita. Sydney Poitier. Okay, thank you. Erica. Okay, really? Yeah, Flora. My God, you guys are really smart. I mean, Alex, it's not butter. No, it's not butter. It's Flora. It's margarine. It's not the real thing. It's butter, fake butter. It's not even butter. It's just fake. It's fake. Okay. Wow, you guys are really smart. Wow, well done. I had to Google that stuff. I feel stupid right now. Okay. Right. Now, the next one, I'm going to tell you guys about some South African legends. And when I come back to the screen, I want to know about your legends, which means, Erica, I'm talking to you. Okay. And hey, Davis. From Tanzania. Not just Mount Kilimanjaro, Davis. Come on. There's something even better than Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Come on, yeah, Tanzanite. I love it. I've bought and I love it. I love shopping. I love jewelry. I love everything. I love our planet. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a legend about Cape Town. Okay, are you guys ready? And maybe the people, if there's anyone from Cape Town watching, maybe you know this legend. And if not, then I'm going to teach you something today. All right, South African legends. It's about Table Mountain. So what you see in the picture is Table Mountain, which is one of the most famous mountains in the world. Not as high as Kilimanjaro, but it's really flat. It looks like a table. And sometimes you see this white cloud cover that looks like a tablecloth. Well, what's the legend about the tablecloth on Table Mountain? So, Jan van Hanks, okay, that's a typically Dutch name, a Dutch pirate in the early 18th century, retired on the slopes of Devil's Peak, Table Mountain. So on Table Mountain, you've got all these different places and different names, and one's Devil's Peak. Okay, so he retired on the slopes of Devil's Peak. Obviously, he didn't have a wife that he enjoyed spending time with. So to escape from his wife, he often walked up the mountain and he settled down to smoke his pipe. And I think in the early 18th century, so 1700s, that would have been a typical thing to do. One day, a mysterious stranger approached him and asked Jan if he could borrow some tobacco. And then there was a smoking contest, and the prize was going to be a ship full of gold. So after several days, Jan defeated the stranger. And who turned out to be the devil? Suddenly, thunder rolled and the clouds closed in, and Jan van Hanks disappeared, leaving behind only a scorched area of ground, so a burnt piece of ground. Now, legend has it that the cloud of tobacco smoke they left became the tablecloth, the white cloud that you see over Table Mountain when the southeaster is the wind, the southeaster blows in the summer. When that wind blows, it can blow a teeny tiny person like me away. So when you see the tablecloth, it is said, according to legend, that Jan and the devil are fighting. So did any of you guys know that legend? And do you have a legend for me? And then I'm going to come back to my one. Oh, so Saleha knew about Jan van Hanks and the devil. Okay. Oh, she lives in Cape Town, so she should know it. All right. So do any of you have legends from your country? I've been up Table Mountain a couple times. I didn't know the legend until Erica made me do research to find out about legends in my country. Okay, so Erica, if you are there, I need legends from your country. And then I'm going to go on to the second one, which is, I want you guys to fill in the blanks as I go along so that I can test how good your listening is. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 answers. Let's see who can get all of them correct. Okay, so ready, guys? Because I'm going to start speaking now. Fill in the blanks. The Bafana is some sort of witch, but a good one that turns up during the night on January the 6th. Some say she might live with Santa Claus. Others say she is some sort of devil. The Bafana knows which children have been good. Those receive candy during the night, she appears. And the kids who have not been so good get a piece of charcoal as a present. Okay. So did you guys get that? I think there might be a time delay. Okay, so Erica, do you want to tell us about the pact that he made with the devil? The pact that he made with the devil, Erica? So Befana is actually an Italian legend, and it happens on the 6th of January, all right? And Befana looks like a witch, and she gives gifts and candy to good children and charcoal to bad ones. And I love getting Befana sweets. It comes actually when you get a Befana chocolate, you have the witch on a broomstick and a little bag, and the little bag's filled with chocolates. I love it. Okay. Erica, it's about indigenous people who make a pact with the devil in order to build an atrium because they couldn't finish it. So what happened at the end, Erica? So they made a pact with the devil, and did it all work out well? Please let me know. All right. So you guys wanted legends, so let's keep going. All right. I'm going to skip this one. And for the Spanish students out there, you guys may know this. Okay. So San George and the Dragon, and legend states that a dragon lived in Mont Blanc and terrorized the nearby villages. So in desperation, the villagers sacrificed one person to the dragon each and every day. Unfortunately, one day, the princess's name was drawn. And despite the protests of many villagers, the princess headed to the dragon's lair to accept her fate. Miraculously, a knight in shining armor saved the princess at the last minute by slaying the dragon. A red rose sprouted, grew from the wound of the dragon, which the knight presented to the princess. And then the knight then revealed himself as St. George. And this story is commemorated on the 23rd of April. So that's in 8 days, in 8 days' time. Every year in Spain, particularly in Barcelona, and the men give roses, I'm assuming red roses, to the woman they love. So St. George and the Dragon is that kind of Valentine's Day in Spain. Does anyone know? Can anyone tell me? By the way, I learned about all of this through research. Okay, so anyone? Is this St. George and the Dragon, 23rd of April, something like Valentine's Day? I'm just going to wait for you guys to let me know. And if you don't have a legend from your country, then I'm going to ask you guys to tell me about this legend. So I'm going to show you the screen and I'm going to let you guys tell me this legend. Most of you who are in Europe should know this. So what is the legend and where does it take place? So what is the legend? There's the wolf and there are two children, and I think it takes place in anyone? In which city? In which country? Okay, I'll tell you in which country. It's in Italy. In which city, guys? Does anyone know where this legend of the twins and the wolf takes place? Anyone? I'm going to come back and see if anyone knows where this legend takes place, and then if you can tell me what happens in this legend. So, Erica, can you help me out here? Okay, this happens in Rome. And okay, so David, it's Romulus and Remus. Romulo and Remo. Is that Italian for Romulus and Remus? Okay, so can anyone tell me what happened in this legend of Romulus and Remus? I can tell you, but that's no fun. So what happened first? They were brought up by a wolf, yes, okay. David, they were brought up by a wolf, but how did they end up with the wolf? Anyone knows why they were sent, why they ended up with the wolf? Are you guys Googling? They were brought up by the wolf, but how did they end up with the wolf? Twins or children don't just end up being brought up by wolves. Yes, Romulus founded the city of Rome, but I want to know, how did they end up with the wolf? I mean, I have two children and they didn't disappear off with wolves. So how did Romulus and Remus end up with the wolves? Any ideas? Who was the father of Romulus and Remus? Does anyone know? Who was the father? The father of Romulus and Remus. Anyone? It was the god of war. So who was the god of war, guys? Who was the god of war? I have no idea why Saleha is laughing. Maybe because I said my sons were not brought up by wolves. But come on. The father of Romulus and Remus was the god of war. Who was the god of war? Come on, guys. 4 letters. Okay. So Romulus and Remus were the sons of Mars. And no, and Aries is spelled with an I, 5 letters. Mars, 4 letters. You guys are funny. All right. And you challenging me. So Romulus and Remus were brought up by wolves. So their father was Mars, and he was afraid that they would take his throne. Okay, so he put them, well, he didn't. He got a servant to put them in a basket and send them along the river. Okay, what's the river in Rome? The Tiber. Okay, the Tibere. In Italian, the river Tiber, the Tibere. Okay, for the Italians. And then they were found by a wolf and they were brought up by this wolf. Okay, and that is why that is the symbol of Rome. But after that, they were brought up by a shepherd. And then what happened to Romulus and Remus? Anyone knows what happened to Romulus and Remus? Yes, Italy has a very rich culture. You should visit someday. Saleha, you would love it. So what happened next? So Romulus and Remus were found by the wolf. Okay. And then they were suckled by the wolf. They were teeny tiny little twins, poor things. Alex, they both cried wolf. Okay, for those of you who are advanced, you would understand that when you cry wolf, what does it mean? It means that, come on, Alex, please tell the students what it means when you say cry wolf. I'm waiting for you to put it into the chat. When you cry wolf, you lie. Oh gosh, okay. Yeah, you lie. Okay, I'm not going to repeat the things that are going on in this chat. All right, so after that, this is really interesting, okay? So Romulus and Remus, okay, right. So Mars, the god of war, had two sons, Romulus and Remus. The twins were abandoned. They weren't abandoned, they were shoved off. On the bank of the river Tiber, okay. And a wolf found the twins and fed them. Later, a shepherd discovered Romulus and Remus and brought them up as his own sons. So, what happened next? When they had grown up, Romulus and Remus decided to found their own city, to create their own city. Okay. Now, I'm not sure which one wanted which hill. One wanted to create or to found the city of Rome on the Palatine Hill, Palatina, and the other one wanted to found the city on another hill. So I have sons, and like typical brothers and males, they went off their separate ways and started building their own walls. Okay, so Remus made fun of Romulus's wall and said, it's so silly, anyone can jump over it. So he did. He jumped over Romulus's wall, and Romulus killed Remus and became the first king of the new city. Well, then it was a town, which he named Rome. So it's named after Rome. I'm going to do these with you another day. We don't have enough time. Oops. Yep. Our next lesson is on Friday at 3:15. So basically, guys, that is the story of Romulus and Remus in a nutshell. So, no, Mars is the god of war. Okay. Okay, so Alex, you've never heard this legend before, but this is how Rome was founded. So everyone knows about Romulus and Remus, who were suckled by the wolf. Okay, and I'm always honest. I did research about legends. And actually, they were abandoned by Mars, the god of war, because he was afraid that they would usurp him. They would take over his position. And then they were found by the wolf and saved by the wolf, which is why the wolf is the symbol of Rome. Anyway, moving on. They started fighting. They wanted to build their own city. They fought. One brother made fun of the other brother, kind of Cain and Abel, and the one was killed, and then that was it, basically. Romulus survived, Remus died, and the city of Rome was formed. And let's see, Aries is Greek and Mars is Roman. Okay, thank you very much. So it was a Roman story, an Italian story. So, okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Aries is the Greek name of the same god, Mars. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. And for all of you, thank you for watching. We'll be back on Friday. If you can just type up in the chat what you'd like to do. I've got hot seat questions. Friday is my last scheduled lesson with you guys. And even though the legends was fun, I still prefer the more interactive questions. Hope you learned something. And until We meet on Friday, a different time slot, the later time slot, 3:15. Stay safe and stay out of trouble. So our next lesson is on Friday at 3:15 Spanish time. Thank you, Alex, for joining, and for Saleha and David and Erica and everyone else who participated. And even if you just watched the lesson and you learned something, thank you for joining. Stay safe. Ciao.
A second language and expose yourself to a second culture. Not only do you understand that culture better, but you understand your own culture better. And if most people just did that and were talking openly and honestly about themselves and other people, I don't think there would be any diversity problems. Because we're all learning from each other.
He is a very good student. He studied very well, and he just learned for, he just only studied for 1 month, but now he can speak very much Vietnamese. Later on, the student and the teacher can meet in a different country, and then the relationship become very good. We drink coffee together, and we go and I ride a motorbike, and I take them along somewhere beautiful together, and we talk together, and then they come back to their country, and we become teacher and student again. We study again. Yeah.
The number of refugees worldwide has reached historic levels, as tens of millions of people seek asylum from conflicts in their home countries. Even for those able to reach countries willing to take them in, rebuilding their lives and careers in unfamiliar societies often proves challenging. For one group of refugees living in Istanbul, teaching online Arabic lessons to students across the world has offered a way to overcome these obstacles and establish new hope. As well as earning income, they have been able to share their experiences with people from different cultures and backgrounds, cultivating meaningful relationships with students.
My name is Rahaf and I'm from Latakia, Syria. Previously, I had a normal but busy life.
My name is Abdullah and I'm a Syrian guy from Homs, the capital of funny jokes.
Hello, my name is Amr. I'm an Arabic teacher on italki. I'm from Egypt.
Hi, I'm Hussam. I'm from Syria, Al-Hasaka, and I'm a teacher on italki now.
3 years ago, I came to Turkey, to Istanbul. Many challenges came in one time. Leaving a country is not, or leaving your home. This is one, it's like fish out of the group.
I mean, yeah, the challenge that my career is almost dead. This is the only challenge now. Online teaching, yeah, it solves this problem, of course, because you can just be wherever and get online and start your class.
What italki offered me is like new students I have never met from another continent, way far from me. Once they want to like learn my language, I feel like this is like, I feel sometimes emotional.
italki, Bessa College and NGO Small Projects Istanbul are working together on this project.
You know, it's important for people to kind of see and get to know someone who's experiencing a difficult time or who has had a difficult past, and to just remember people are people are people. We need to remember that, you know, we have a shared humanity, and I think that gets lost a lot in the media or in the news.
I'm teaching Arabic for first-year students of Arabic in America. We both enjoy teaching and learning online. It's an amazing experience for me as a teacher. I find it so helpful for me, also for the students.
going into it, people might like have these assumptions that you're supposed to like learn something about refugees or like understand something new. But I think it's like most valuable to realize that like you're not really learning anything new other than that like this is like just another person just like you.
My tutor Mohammed was like so nice and so willing to work with my level of speaking and comprehension.
At the beginning, teaching online was a new experience for me, and it had a lot of challenges, but now I'm used to it. And honestly, I am enjoying teaching Arabic on italki.
I care now. I care more. I care more about the language. I care more about my students. Teaching Arabic is something valuable for me. Maybe give me hope, or I feel gain hope. It's reward for me.
Hi, I'm a language learning app.
Can we move on?
This is a dog.
I don't have a dog.
Repeat after me. This person eats bread.
I want to practice English for my job interview.
Incorrect. You haven't reached this lesson yet. Now repeat after me. This person eats bread.
Fine. This person eats bread.
That's better. Moving on.
¿Cansado de aplicaciones de idiomas inflexibles? Usa italki para aprender como tú quieras aprender y estudiar cualquier idioma con nativos.
Meet Peter. He is learning Chinese. He was studying on his own with textbooks, flashcards, and apps, but is still having problems with basic conversation. This is Maria. She loves learning English, but she doesn't have many opportunities to use it. With italki, Peter and Maria are able to get personal online lessons to help them become fluent in a foreign language. You can start learning a language on italki today. Just follow these 3 simple steps. 1. Select the language. English, Spanish, Chinese, French, Japanese. italki has teachers for every language. 2. Select the teacher. With italki, you can choose from thousands of experienced teachers from all over the world. And 3. Schedule a lesson. Online language lessons are the next best thing to living in a foreign country. With italki, you'll have a personal language teacher and real conversations with native speakers. Every day, thousands of people are connecting to international teachers through italki. Find a teacher today and become fluent in a foreign language.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm from the US, I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm passionate about language learning. I've used italki to learn 8 languages to a conversational level. I grew up in Colorado, where I was exposed to many different cultures, which cultivated my interest in languages. One of the first languages I became conversational in was Norwegian. I decided to book a trip to Norway. To prepare, I found a group class with around 7 people. Not only were they extremely expensive, it was around $40 to $50 per lesson, but progress was also frustratingly slow due to the size of the class. I heard about italki from a positive review from a famous polyglot. I was amazed to discover that I could learn any language I want, one-on-one, and for the fraction of the price as offline classes. I thought, how is this even possible? I immediately signed up with 2 teachers in Norwegian. One teacher, we would have conversation lessons and go through a textbook, and with the other teacher, we would go through worksheets and chat about random things. So essentially, I structured the classes in a way that would suit my own learning style, which never would have happened without italki. Within a year, I was relatively fluent in Norwegian. I was so happy that I could actually go to the country and use the language in a practical setting. And the best part is that I really enjoyed the learning process. I thought, why stop there? I picked up Italian and mixed my interest in Italian cooking with lessons on italki. After learning Italian for a year and going to northern Italy, I was able to easily get around and communicate with people. I then decided to set myself a personal goal of passing an advanced Italian exam, and my teacher on italki helped me to achieve this. I was hooked. I'd found the ultimate formula for learning a language from scratch and staying motivated. I would book a holiday in a new country in 1 year's time so that I could put the language into practice. I did the same with Japanese, French, German, Russian, Czech, and Hungarian, and even explored Chinese, Thai, Serbian, Farsi, and Sicilian. From this process, I made so many valuable friendships and connections that has improved not only my communication, but also my confidence. Whether I'm watching the news in German, reading about Italian politics, speaking to my cats in Norwegian, on the phone to my friends in Bergen, or watching fitness and nutrition videos in Czech, I find a way to get at least some practice of one of the languages every day. I found the best way to stay motivated is to align my interests with my language learning, and in that way it doesn't take over my whole life, which people often believe. I find this way of learning on italki so much fun.
Lingvi es una aplicación móvil que ayuda a practicar idiomas de manera instantánea conectando a usuarios disponibles en todo el mundo. Con Lingvi encontrarás personas nativas dispuestas a ayudarte a practicar el idioma que desees aprender. Los usuarios con tiempo libre se mostrarán disponibles para recibir llamadas y de esta forma ganarán recompensas ayudando a otros usuarios. Así es como conectamos personas de forma colaborativa y gratuita en nuestra aplicación. Únete a nuestra comunidad, haz nuevos amigos y mejora en todos los idiomas que quieras. Descarga Lingvi y practiquemos juntos.
Este es Peter. Está aprendiendo chino. Ha intentado estudiar por su cuenta con libros, tarjetas de vocabulario y aplicaciones móviles, pero sigue teniendo problemas para hablar. Esta es María. Le encanta aprender inglés, pero no tiene oportunidades para ponerlo en práctica. Con italki, Peter y María pueden recibir clases personales online para hablar con fluidez en otro idioma. Tú también puedes aprender un idioma en italki. Empieza hoy en 3 simples pasos. Primero, elige un idioma. Inglés, alemán, chino, francés, japonés. Italki tiene profesores para cualquier idioma. Segundo, escoge un profesor. Con italki puedes escoger entre miles de profesores con experiencia de todo el mundo. Tercero, elige el horario de tu lección. Las clases de idiomas online son el mejor método para aprender con profesores nativos. Con italki tendrás un profesor de idiomas personal y conversaciones reales con hablantes nativos. Cada día miles de personas aprenden con profesores internacionales a través de italki. Encuentra un profesor hoy y domina el idioma de tu lección.
Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com. And today we will be talking about 3 grammar rules to follow when you start learning Spanish. The first one is that, as you have already heard, Spanish verbs are always conjugated. That means that they have to match with the subject of the sentence. For example, there are different pronouns in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, and ellos, ellas, y ustedes. All these pronouns have their own conjugations, and it's very common for beginners to mix them up. So remember this. When you start to conjugate the verbs, they have to match. The second rule is very important as well. The Spanish nouns and adjectives has to be in the same level. Let me explain you this. If you have a noun that is feminine and plural, for example, las mujeres, the adjective that you have to use right after the noun has to be feminine and plural as well. For example, las mujeres españolas. It is the same with the articles las, female and plural. We use this article because, as I say, it's female and plural. The third rule I already mentioned before, and be careful, English speakers, because the adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, not before like in English. This is very common for students that learn Spanish and already speak or know English. When I say it, las mujeres españolas, españolas is the adjective, and I put it after las mujeres. In English, it would be the Spanish woman, but not in Spanish. Okay, there are some occasions where the adjectives go before the nouns. That is true, but normally this use comes out at intermediate level or advanced level, so do not worry when you are a beginner. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel over here. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego! Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com, and today I will be talking about 7 Spanish words that are similar to their English counterpart. These words are also known as cognates. What a cognate is? A cognate is a word that has the same linguistic derivation that another word, and it looks similar, and when you pronounce it, it sounds almost the same. And here I will give you 7 cognates so you can use them in Spanish as well. The first one is alcohol in Spanish. Guess you know what it means, because it sounds pretty similar than in English, doesn't it? Number 2 is conclusión. This one has a different pronunciation in Spanish, but you will understand definitely when you start learning Spanish. Number 3, hobby. This one is completely similar. We basically took this word from English. Number 4, individual. Of course, it's the same word, just different pronunciation. The next one, number 5, is piercing. Yes, we use this word with the same pronunciation and meaning. Next one, number 6, is informal. I like to use this one in my lessons to explain ways to greet and say goodbye, because it's similar in English and is a word that the students understand very quickly. And the last are some words related to sports. If you're learning Spanish and you like sports, you're lucky, because most of the words are cognates, like football, tennis, baseball, volleyball, hockey, water polo, golf, surf, and so on. As you can see, almost all sports are cognates. So, talking about your hobbies should not be difficult. As you can see, there are many, and I would like to remember you that there are hundreds of cognates, and if you check them, you can be ready to your first Spanish lesson. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel for more tips on learning Spanish. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another phrasal verbs workshop. My name is Warren. I'm a communication coach here on italki, and I'm really happy for everyone to have joined us again today. In our previous workshops, we have looked at phrasal verbs with up. Today, we're going to begin looking at phrasal verbs with down. So I know that we're probably waiting on some more people to arrive. While some more participants arrive, we'll do a quick numbers challenge. And as usual, we're joined by our friend Jeffrey, who's taking care of some of the backstage elements. So Jeffrey, thanks so much for all you do with the production involved in these workshops and online webinars. So while we wait for some more participants to arrive, we'll do another numbers challenge. And I see that we're joined once more by Virginia. Virginia, nice to see you. And also Lucia, who's joining us on YouTube. Welcome to everyone. If you're already here and participating, hearing this message, tell me hello. I'd love to know where you're from. Write hello in the chat box, just as Virginia and Lucia have done. So what do you say? Let's start once more with a numbers challenge for those of you who are joining us. Juiciosos, los juiciosos, who are here early. So let's start with something easy to begin. Write these numbers in the chat box as you hear them. We'll start with the number 48. Let's start with something easy. Number 48 to begin. 48 will be the first number. 48. Write the number in your chat. 48. 48. 48. The number is 48. Let's see who gets it first. Our number challenge today begins with the number 48. Virginia, nice job. We'll go ahead and move to a second number, 412. 412. Our second number, 412. Let's see who can get this correct. 412 is the next number. Who's going to get it first? 412. Good job, Virginia. Nicely done. You too. Let's get some participation going there. Don't fall asleep, guys. I know it's late in the afternoon, siesta time in Spain. But welcome and happy to have you here, of course. Here in the United States, we're all just starting our day. I'll tell you a bit more about where I'm from, but here it is 9:17. I know that it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon there. And of course, you just had a nice lesson on IELTS speaking with my colleague Nas. Virginia, were you in the previous lesson? I hope that you were able to join and learn some more about IELTS speaking. And I see also that Erika was in that lesson joining on YouTube. Let's move on to another number, 107. 107. So this is a special number for our presentation today because I hope to arrive to slide 107 in this presentation. So what do you think? Do you think we're going to have enough time to get there? 107. Virginia, nice job. Okay. Another important number for today's presentation, 89. 89. So we'll be starting at slide number 89 once we have some more participants in about 3 minutes. Write the number 89 in your chat box now. 89 is the number. Good. Nice job, Virginia. And Robert, welcome back. Robert, nice to see you. We're starting, as always, with a quick numbers challenge. And I see, Robert, you've gotten it correct, as usual. Let's do another easy number, 143. And then we're going to get it a little bit more complicated. Ksenia, I'm glad to see you're here. Ksenia is one of my students. We actually just had class together and finished moments ago. So I told Ksenia she had some homework, which was to join this class. So welcome, Ksenia. I'm happy to see you here. And wonderful job, Robert and Angel and Virginia. Nicely done, 143. Too easy. Let's step it up. So guys, in our last workshops, we had some problems with numbers that had zeros. I'm going to challenge you with some numbers with zeros, okay? So 1007 is our first number, 1007. Let's see who gets that correct. 1007. And Angel and Lucia, nice job on the previous number, 143. Now try this number, 1007. Barbara, welcome. Nice to see you here. And Virginia, Lucia, Ksenia, Robert, all getting it correct. Nice job. What if someone tells you the number 1500? What does that number look like? 1500. 1500. Angel, nice job. 1500. Write that number in the chat now. 1500. 1500. Does anyone know? Are you familiar with that construction of numbers? 1500. As I mentioned, it's still the morning here, so I'm still enjoying some nice Colombian coffee. I brought back with me when I returned to the United States loads of coffee. So it's something that if we have anyone from Colombia joining us, I have a nice hot cup of Colombian coffee. So 1500, Robert, you've got it right. Robert, Jeffrey, if you don't mind just highlighting Robert's answer so everyone can see it, that would be wonderful. Virginia, Ksenia, let's see what you get. Myra, okay, nice job. Nice correction, Myra. 1,500. 1,500. Well done. So, of course, 1,500 is going to be, I'll type it here on the landing page, 1,500. This is common when we talk about prices. You can say the car cost $1,500 would be acceptable. We use this a lot for prices. Also, military time would call 3 o'clock 1,500 hours. So let's do another one in this form. What is 1,700? Try that number, 1,700. Who can get this right? Correct answer initially. 1,700. 1,700. Write that number now in the chat. 1,700. Who's going to get it correct? 1,700. Robert, nice job. And Robert, remind me, I know you're in Spain, and I know you're not Catalan. Where are you connecting from, Robert? Barbara, Myra, Angel, nice job. Ksenia, well done. Virginia, excellent. Okay, let's do something more complicated now. 18,006. 18,006. Our next number, 18,006. Who's going to get it? Angel, try that once more. I think you have too many zeros there. 18,006 is our next number. 18,006. Who's going to get it right? From Valencia. Wonderful. Robert, I have one of my best friends is an English teacher in Valencia who just moved there. He and I worked together in Colombia. And then he moved to China, and now he's with his wife in Valencia. So I hear it's a wonderful place to live. Difficult, of course, right now, but he's very happy there. So yeah, here you live in a beautiful region. Good. Okay, Virginia, try once more. 18,006. Virginia, your zeros are appropriate, but I want you to try once more. Lucia, Mayra, Robert, and Angel, nice job. Good. Excellent correction, Virginia. Okay, let's do 3 more numbers. 1,800,009. Can you get that? Once more. 1,800,009. 1,800,009. Ksenia, let's see your attempts here. I know it's difficult. Give it a try. 1,800,009. I'll say the number a few more times. 1,800,009. 1,800,009. So let's see. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, everyone on YouTube doing well. Virginia, I want you to try again. Try again, Virginia. Barbara, nice job. I'm going to say the number once more. 1,800,009. Virginia, you have 1,008,009. Okay, try again. 1,800,009. 1,800,009. And let's try 18,064,072. Yeah, this is a difficult one. And Virginia, nice correction. Nice correction. Okay, next number, 18,064,072. 18,064,072. Again, 18,064,072. Barbara, not quite. Angel, not quite. Try again. 18,006, not quite. Guys, this is a difficult one. Lucia, not quite. I'm seeing a lot of a different number. Yeah, listen again. 18,064,072. Barbara, bing, 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 bing. Nice job. And David, you're almost correct. Almost correct, David. Let's try again. 18,064,072. 72. 18,064,072. Okay, I'm seeing lots of incorrect answers here. And what I'm seeing is a lot of misplacement with 64. Some are saying 640,000, but it's not 640,000, it's 64,000. Yeah? So let's try. I'm going to say the number a few more times. 18,064,072. Mayra, excellent job. You've got it right. And for those of you who are on YouTube, or excuse me, on the landing page, let me write this, the correct answer, because we're struggling a bit. 18,064,072. And Robert, I see that you're writing, you know, a teacher from California. Very interesting. My friend is from Texas, so I think it's probably a different person. But wonderful. Where does is this your English teacher? Does he teach at a university, he or she? I'm not sure. Very interesting to have an international community where you live. And we're going to do one last number, also a difficult one. 7,008,120. 8 million, I'm sorry, correction, 7,008,120. Again, that number is 8 million. No. 7,008,120. I'm going to say this again since I'm getting confused. 7,008,120. 7,008,120. Excellent, Barbara. Excellent, Mayra. Well done. David, excellent job. 7,008,120. These numbers are quite difficult. Even I'm having a difficult time just saying them in my mind. So well done. I'm seeing lots of correct answers. So we'll continue this number practice in our next workshop. I want to just tell you, I see we have some new people. I see some familiar names. Virginia, Mayra have joined us before. It's a pleasure to see you again. For now, I would like everyone just to say, where are you from? Where are you connecting? I know Robert said he's in Valencia. 18006, where are you from? David, where are you connecting from? In Virginia, where are you from? Lucia and Angel, Barbara, your new faces here for us as well. Thanks for joining. Where are you from? So Robert is writing that you know a few teachers from the US, but they're working as auxiliaries at schools, so teachers' assistants. Wonderful, wonderful, good. So we have Angel from Madrid. Welcome, Angel. I've been to Madrid a few times. Actually, I lived in Spain twice. That's where I studied Spanish initially. But I lived in Barcelona and in Granada. And Virginia back from Albacete. Wonderful. And Lucia as well from Madrid. Welcome, everyone. So my name's Warren. It's a pleasure to be here and meet you. I'm connecting in this moment from Tennessee in the United States, which is the state that's in red here on the map. So we also have David, who's in a similar situation as me, in two different countries. David's connecting from Switzerland, but he's from the Basque country. And Ksenia is from Dnipro in Ukraine. And we have Barbara, who's from Zamora, but is in La Coruña. So wonderful international community. I'm connecting from Tennessee, which is a state you might know about for a few reasons. First of all, for country music. Tennessee is the place where country music was born. We have lots of famous country musicians who are from Tennessee. It's something to enjoy and be proud of, as well as Jack Daniels. This is some product that is made only in Tennessee, but enjoyed all around the world. Perhaps you have some at home. When I was living in Spain, a a professor told me that in el pueblo de Warren hay ríos de Jack Daniels, que en el pueblo de Warren ellos pueden rascar la pared y salen gotas de whisky, o golpeamos dos piedras, caen gotas de whisky. So it's a nice product to have here. However, I've been living for the last 7 years in Colombia, in Bogota, where I work as a communication coach and English teacher. So I'm a CELTA certified English teacher. My degrees are in Spanish and communication studies. I've also got certifications to train for exams from the British Council and also Cambridge English. So what does it mean exactly, communication coach? Communication coaches, we work with students who specifically want to improve the way that they communicate in English. So not just grammar and not specific skills such as listening and reading, but we focus exclusively on speaking and the way that you communicate your ideas. So I work with students who are getting ready for job interviews, who are preparing for exams, also do conversational classes, as well as simulations. So one more question. Rank your confidence with using phrasal verbs. 1 to 10 shall be the scale that we use, and 1 would be very unconfident, 10 very confident. Write your answer in the chat box now. Perhaps those of you who are new to these workshops will have a lower answer. I would love to see your answers improve. I know Mayra and Virginia have been in our phrasal verb workshops before. Mayra and Virginia, are your confidence improving when you use phrasal verbs? Let's see. So everyone, just write your confidence using phrasal verbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the chat box now. So I see Barbara is rating, say maybe 3, maybe 4. Not very confident at all. Robert also hasn't joined us in previous workshops. So I see, Robert, your confidence is improving. Angel says 4 or 5. Wonderful, wonderful. Lucia is writing that she is a 6. Virginia says not really. Well, Virginia, you're going to have to stay tuned because the good news is I have tomorrow another phrasal verb workshop. And then next week, every day at this time, so 3:15 to 4:15 Spain, 4:15 to 5:15 Ukraine, 9:15 to 10:15 United States, 8:15 to 9:15 Colombia. We'll be doing these workshops. So if you don't feel confident about these verbs, you're in the right space. It's my job to help you with them. And you have lots of opportunities, not only in the hour we have today, but also tomorrow and next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to practice in more phrasal verb workshops. So hopefully with more practice, your confidence will increase. And I see Lucia is rating her confidence at a 6. So today's goal is for you to have a better understanding of phrasal verbs. We're also going to do quite a bit of practice. So what we'll do first is we're going to discuss the mechanics of phrasal verbs. We're going to learn some new phrasal verbs and we'll practice. So we're already about 15-20 minutes into our session. Let's not delay anymore. Thanks for being here, guys, and thanks for participating. Your participation is very important for us to have a successful session today. Participate by using the chat feature, either on the italki page where we have David 18006, Xenia and Virginia, as well as others, or you can also chat on the YouTube page. We have Barbara, Robert, Angel, Lucia, Angel, Mayra, among others, connecting with us there. So if you're chatting on YouTube, our colleague and friend Jeffrey will occasionally be highlighting your answers. We're always really appreciative for Jeffrey's technical support. This wouldn't be possible without the people at italki facilitating it, like Jeffrey and Tim. So big thanks to our colleagues there. As a reminder, you can access this page at any time by going to italki.com/istayatHome. You can also access my profile at any moment by going to italki.com/communicate. You can access my teacher profile either by clicking my name on the italki page or also by going to italki.com/communicate. So without delay, let's review some of the rules for using phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs, how do they work? Ksenia, you and I in your previous class were talking about this briefly. So pay attention here to know how phrasal verbs work. A phrasal verb is a verb plus a particle. So for example, bring in Spanish means entrar, right? Bring is the verb, entrar is the particle. Get on with is llevarse bien con alguien, or to be friends with someone. So get, of course, is the verb. On with are the particles. So notice here we have two particles. Here we have only one particle. So let's see if you can identify the verb and particle in this phrasal verb. Hang out. Write your answers in the chat box now. 60 seconds on the clock, no more. Let's see how well you do. Go ahead and begin. Write the verb and the particle in the chat box now. Hang out. What's the verb? What's the particle? And we're going to just give you 30 seconds for this because I think this is quite easy. And I think you guys can do this in less time. So what do you think? Hang out. Identify the verb. Identify the particle there. Who can get it first? Keeping an eye on the chat in the landing page for italki and also on YouTube. All right. We just have a few seconds left and some answers rolling in. Mayra and Robert have got this right. Hang out. The verb is hang. The particle is out. So well done. Well done. So a phrasal verb, of course, is a verb and a particle that together have one meaning. So for example, bring means llevar or traer, and bring in means entrar. Bring in together means entrar. You could say, for example, can you please bring in the dog? Take, in Spanish, you say tomar, but take out means sacar. So Sally already took out the trash. Sally ya sacó la basura. Go, ir, go off, explotar. So the bomb went off at 3 a.m. We could say the bomb explotó. No fue afuera, but explotó. So we need to look at these verbs, the verb and the particle, as one unit. They're not separate units. Let's look at one more. Get, in Spanish, we say conseguir. Get on with, as we saw in the previous slide, is llevarse bien. So if you have a good relationship with your neighbors, you can say, we get on with our neighbors. That means you have a nice relationship. And I see we have some more answers from YouTube. Lucia and Angel, well done. So we have one more rule we need to look at here, which is where we place the objects, yeah? We have in these verbs, we have a verb and a particle, but always we're going to have an object because someone or something must receive the action. So in this situation, our object is Stephen, and we have three different options of placement. We can either say, one, we're going to pick up Stephen. Two, we're going to pick Stephen up. Three, we're going to pick him up. All right. So if the object is named Stephen or, Sally or Lucy or Virginia or Ksenia, yeah, if the object is named as it is, we can either put that after the verb and particle or between the verb and particle. However, if the object is a pronoun as him or as it, we must say this in between. We cannot put the pronoun after the particle. It must come between the verb and the particle. So we can say we're going to pick up him, lo vamos a recoger, right? But we can never say we're going to pick up him. The particle must be here. And I see Barbara is saying bring in. Does it also mean meter? I would say meter is more like put, in how I understand. But Barbara, if you'd like, try to make an example sentence in the chat, and I'll tell you the answer there. So try to make an example sentence, Barbara, and let's see how it goes. And I see Robert also is asking a nice question. What's more common to say, to get on with or get along with? Great question, Robert. Get on with is mainly said by British speakers. And I know that because of proximity of Spain with the United Kingdom, because of that proximity, several Spanish speakers of English prefer British English because you have more exposure to it. So get on with is more said by British speakers, and that's the example that I've chosen because most of the people here are from Spain and prefer that. However, if I'm speaking with my neighbors, I would say get along with, because that's what is more common to say in the United States and Canada, in North America. Yeah. So the examples you're going to see here are mainly universal. However, there are a few verbs that we'll learn that are more common in the United Kingdom than in North America. So let's see what you know, guys. There are 4 options here. One is incorrect. Glad to know, Robert, that was a good explanation and that you get it. Let's see, which one is incorrect here? Of course, we're talking about the object placement. Is it correct to say A, can you bring the dog in? B, can you bring in him? C, can you bring him in? Or D, can you bring in the dog? A, B, C, or D. One is incorrect. Which one is incorrect? Let's see who can identify it. Write your answer in the chat. A, B, C, or D. Okay, so thank you, Maida, for your answer. Maida is saying B. B, of course, Robert is also saying B, and this is the incorrect response. So, Barbara, thanks for your clarification of your question. Barbara is saying, for example, can I bring in? Barbara, you need to have an object there. So, for example, here, the dog, in, him, the dog. Can I bring in qué? ¿Qué cosa? Yeah? And then can I bring in my dog? ¿Puedo meter a mi perro? Yeah. I see now. What you would say there, I think, Barbara, for example, you're saying that's like at a restaurant. Like, can my dog enter the restaurant or the coffee shop? And in that situation, that phrasal verb is fine. But I think it would be more correct to say, can my dog come in? Can my dog come into the restaurant? So let me know if that's more accurate of what you're trying to communicate. For example, at a restaurant or coffee shop, can my dog come in? 18006, nice job. One more, and then we're going to move on. Which is incorrect here? You've eaten up all your dinner. You've eaten all your dinner up. You've eaten it all up, or you've eaten up all it. A, B, C, or D. One of these is incorrect. Can you identify the incorrect version? A, you've eaten up all your dinner. B, you've eaten all your dinner up. C, you've eaten it all up. Or D, you've eaten up all it. Okay, Robert, well done. D is the incorrect response. Okay, last practice, then we're going to move on to learning some phrasal verbs. The sentence below is incorrect. I want you to correct the mistake and write your answer in the chat box. So we have another participant joining us on YouTube. MSK, welcome. MSK, where are you connecting from? Where are you from? Are you in Spain? Are you in another country? Let us know where you're from. And while you're at it, correct this sentence. Write the correct version in the chat box now. The robbers stole all of his money and beat up him. Yeah, of course, we have a problem with object placement. Can you place the object in the appropriate spot? The robbers stole all of his money. and beat up him. What do you say? How can we correct this sentence? And I just also like to say, right now it's 45 past the hour, just turned to 46 past the hour. If it's not 46 past the hour, perhaps it would be a good idea to refresh your page, because there might be a bit of a delay. So if you're seeing this message or hearing me speak at 48 past the hour or 50 past the hour, refresh your page so we can all be at the same pace. So right now it's 46 past the hour. Check your clock and refresh if you have to. So I see some answers coming in on YouTube. Mayra says the robbers stole all of his money and beat him up. Barbara also, MSK Elgana says the same. Wonderful job, everyone. Wonderful. This is the correct answer. The robbers stole all of his money and beat him up. So that's enough of the rules. Let's get on with the practice. What do you say? Isn't it time that we move on? So we're going to be doing some phrasal verbs today with down. Yeah, with down. So what do you guys think? Are you ready to practice? Ready to learn some new phrasal verbs? Let me know. Yes or no? Have you got some more questions? Just let me know in the chat box. Today we're going to be working with, I hope, 16 new phrasal verbs. And do remember, if you have questions during the workshop, feel free to write them in the chat. I'll see them immediately. So today we're going to focus on phrasal verbs that use the particle down. As you remember, Robert and Mayra, in our previous workshop, and Virginia also, in our previous workshop, we spoke about verbs with the particle up. So today we're going to focus on the particle down. And Mayra says, let's go. Time to begin. I agree. So let me tell you a little interesting piece of advice with the particles. Sometimes there's a particle pattern in phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs with down can indicate a downward movement. So the teacher told all the students to sit down. Of course, that's a downward movement. A decrease, that music is too loud. Turn it down. Could be another way to indicate a decrease. Of course, we're decreasing the volume. And a third particle pattern with verbs that use down as their particle is a signal of completion, an ending, or stopping of an activity. So for example, we could say, business was so bad that the shop had to close down. So to close down is to cease operation, to stop business completely. All right, so we're going to start with these 8 verbs today. In these verbs, we all have down in the verbs, and the meaning of down indicates a downward movement, a decrease, or completion. So we could say, for example, to bed down, to climb down, throw down, swallow down, way down, back down, settle down, and last, smooth down. So if you have questions about any of these verbs, go ahead and ask them now. And focus, of course, not on the complete meaning. If you have any questions about just the verb, imagine that down is not there. If you need any clarification on just the first part, the verb, then do let me know in the chat and we'll address that. And I do believe that some of you are experiencing a delay in your connection. No problem there. If you do think that you're that I don't answer your question very quickly, it's because there is a delay and you should refresh your page. Also, it's a good idea to make sure the slider bar says live and not, for example, up to a time, because you could force yourself to have a delay. So then, if no questions on these verbs, let me just talk about a few that I think are a bit difficult. Bed. So we usually use bed as a noun, as comma, the place that you sleep. But to bed down, for example, is to go to bed. I think also way down is another verb that we should speak about before we should begin. Weigh, of course, is when you step on a scale to understand the amount your body weighs in kilos, but to weigh down is, for example, when you feel stress. So you could say, for example, the quarantine is weighing down on several people's way-being because it produces stress for them. To settle down is another difficult verb. Settle down can mean to calm down, or also to plant roots and establish yourself, to settle down. So let's begin with some practice. If someone says to you this statement, what could be an appropriate response? Of course, we'll be working with the verbs we just learned, and I'll give you 3 options. Write A, B, C, or D in the chat box. So, for example, I hate taking these pills. If someone is sick and they need to take pills in order to get well, what is an appropriate response? A, isn't it time you got a job and settled down? B, use some water to smooth it down. C, come on, swallow it down. What do you think is the most appropriate response there? I hate taking these pills. If someone says that to you, how could you respond? A, isn't it time you got a job and settled down? B, use some water to smooth it down. Or C, come on, swallow it down. So I see Alex and Lucia say B. Alex, I think you're a new participant, so welcome. A pleasure to have you here. MSK says B. Mayra is disagreeing, voting C. 18006 says B. Robert is agreeing with Mayra. So we have some B and some C. Okay, so let's just look at these 2 responses, B and C, because both are appropriate. One is more appropriate than the other. Use some water to smooth it down, or come on, swallow it down. So if we're talking about a pill, what would be the most appropriate verb? Smooth it or swallow it? Yeah, what do you guys think? Take another chance. Write your answer in the chat box. We're between B and C. Use some water to smooth it down, or come on, swallow it down. So let's go ahead. We'll take a look at our response, which is C. C is the correct answer. So nice job, Robert and Mayra. C is the correct answer. Come on, swallow it down. So that could mean swallow the pill completely. Don't think about it. Just go ahead, swallow it down. Alex, I see what you mean. B is a more polite way of saying it, but soon you'll see that B is actually a different situation. So I don't completely agree with you there. This is, of course, a bit abrupt way of saying it. Swallow it down. But sometimes abruptness is a part of communication in informal relationships. For now, the answer is C, and welcome back, Ruth. Ruth, I believe you've been in several of these sessions. Is this the same Ruth who's joined us before? Welcome back, and hello to you as well. So let's move on, and we'll see, for example, where B, smooth it down, is more appropriate. All right, if someone says, I want to travel and see the world, what response could we say? A, B, or C? A, isn't it time you got a job and settled down? B, use some water to smooth it down. Or C, come on, swallow it down. Welcome back, Ruth. I'm glad to know it's the same Ruth. Okay, I want to travel and see the world. So Alex is writing a quick response. Well done, Alex. Let's see on the italki chat. Ruth, what do you think? What's the most appropriate response here? I want to travel and see the world. Could you respond by saying A, isn't it time you got a job and settled down? B, use some water to smooth it down. Or C, come on, swallow it down. So lots of correct answers coming in. A is the correct response. Isn't it time you got a job and settled down. Well done, everyone. All right. So if someone says, for example, this problem I have when I wake up every morning to have my hair sticking up. If someone says to you, my hair keeps sticking up, what can you say? A, isn't it time you got a job and settled down? B, use some water to smooth it down. Or C, come on, swallow it down. My hair keeps sticking up. A, isn't it time you got a job and settled down? B, use some water to smooth it down. Or C, come on, swallow it down. So Ruth is saying, Ruth, this is, I see your previous response. Okay, well done. And I see we have some answers coming in. Ksenia, nice job. Virginia as well. MSK Elgana, nice. Mayra and Barbara and Robert, well done. The correct answer, of course, is B. Use some water to smooth it down. So to smooth something down, of course, is to smooth something, but with the objective of downward movement. Yeah, as we mentioned in our particle patterns, there are 3 different meanings that down can indicate with a verb. So for example, here, a downward movement. So smooth down would indicate a downward movement of that hair that's sticking up. Well done. So let's move on here to our next question. So we're going to have 3 new responses now. If someone says to you, we haven't finished decorating the spare bedroom yet. Yeah, we haven't finished decorating the spare bedroom yet. What could you say? A, your friends will just have to your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? B, I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. Or C, if neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. A, your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? B, I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. Or C, if neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. So we have some answers coming in on italki. YouTube guys, what do you think? A, B, or C? We haven't finished decorating the spare bedroom yet. A, your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? B, I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. Or C, if neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. So I see lots of correct answers, some incorrect answers. Let's take a look at what the correct answer is. A, your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? A is the correct answer. Of course, bed down, this is a phrasal verb that's very British. Yeah, it's not one that I use as a United States person from the United States. But bed down means to go to bed or to lie down and fall asleep. So what time do you bed down in the evening? I try to get to bed and bed down by about 10 o'clock, no later than that, because I have to get up very, very early, around 4 or 5 for my classes on italki. What time do you bed down in your country? All right, let's move on to a second question here. We're moving on just on time. Excellent job. Let's take a look at this one. So if someone says to you, how long do you think the dispute will last? What would be an appropriate response? A, your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? B, I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. Or C, if neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. Okay, and I'm seeing that Mayra and Barbara are using our phrasal verb we just learned. Mayra saying she beds down around 10 or 11 at night. Barbara beds down at noon or at 12 a.m. At midnight or at noon, Barbara. Here in the United States and all of North America, for midnight, we say 12 a.m. And for noon, we call that 12 p.m. So do you mean noon? That sounds very nice. And Robert saying that I bed down at 2 a.m. during the quarantine. So Robert takes advantage of his spare time to stay up late at night. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so a lot of people are saying C. Let's take a look. What's the correct answer? If neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. Okay, Alex. Well, I'm glad to know that you have a new word in your vocabulary. So great, great. In what context have you heard bed down? Write a sample sentence in the chat. Well done, Ruth and Maida. So if we say, for example, Joanna seems to be under a lot of stress, how could we respond? A, your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? B, I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. And C, if neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. So I see Ruth is saying that she beds down around midnight as well. Barbara is saying at midnight. Barbara, very close, midnight, M-I-D, midnight. But I like that interpretation. Could be a new word to invent for a poem or a song at midnight. Sounds very nice. So what's the correct answer here? If we say Joanna seems to be under a lot of stress, what could we say? A, your friends will just have to bed down in the living room then, won't they? B, I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. Or C, if neither side backs down, it could go on for ages. What's your opinion? So we have lots of people saying B, well done. I think she's feeling weighted down by all her responsibilities. So how do you say weighted down in your language? I think we have lots of Spanish speakers here. I know Ksenia speaks Ukrainian. I'm curious to know if we have speakers of any other language here. How do you say weight down in your language? When you feel weighted down, it's kind of when you have a routine that's starting to really affect your emotions, and you feel very tired, you feel very hopeless, and you need to maybe go on a trip, do something like some exercise or some meditation or some reading. How do you say weighted down in your language? And also, what kind of advice would you give Joanna, who feels weighted down by all of her new responsibilities? Of course, in this moment, Joanna can't go on a vacation. What would you recommend for Joanna? How would you recommend that she feels a bit calmer in light of her new responsibilities? So if you'd like, write a recommendation to Joanna and we'll take a look at it. And also say, let's see how you say weighted down in your language. Let's move on. 3 more options, 3 new phrasal verbs. So if someone says, for example, what happened when they found out they were wrong, what could you say? A, we told the children to calm down after the party. B, they had to climb down and admit they had made a mistake. Or C, yes, do you want me to throw them down to you? So someone says to you in your life, what happened when they found out they were wrong? What would be an appropriate response here? A, we told the children to calm down after the party. B, they had to climb down and admit they had made a mistake. Or C, yes, do you want me to throw them down for you? So we have lots of correct responses coming in. Well done, guys. The correct answer, they had to climb down and admit they had made a mistake. They had to climb down. So climb down is something you can do when you climb a tree. Yeah, after you climb up, you must climb down. If you're climbing a tree, you must hop down as well. But we're not using climb down in that context here. Instead, we're saying that someone needs to admit that they are wrong, which is something that's not easy to do for many people. So to climb down can mean, in a figurative way, to descend, but climb down can also mean, in a literal way, it means to descend, but in a figurative way, climb down can also be used to say, to admit that you are wrong. Yeah, exactly. So how do you say this in your language? To climb down, to admit that you are wrong, to stop believing one thing and admit another thing. Unfortunately, here in the US, we still have several people who believe that COVID-19 is just influenza, that it's just the flu. Those people need to climb down and admit that this is a different type of virus. So I see that Elgana is saying that Joanna should take a rest to relax. Sounds like good advice. Absolutely. I think Joanna would be happy doing that. Okay, let's move on to another verb. Then we're going to try something a bit more complicated. Yeah. So if someone says to you, asks to you, are my tennis shoes up there? Are my tennis shoes up there? What could you possibly say? A, we told the children to calm down after the party. B, they had to climb down and admit they had made a mistake. Or C, yes, do you want me to throw them down to you? What could be the most appropriate response here? A, we told the children to calm down after the party. B, they had to climb down and admit they had made a mistake. Or C, yes, do you want me to throw them down to you? My tennis shoes are up there. What's the correct response? So I see we have lots of correct answers rolling in. Excellent job, everyone. The correct answer is C. Yes. Do you want me to throw them down to you? Good. And I see Ruth is giving her recommendation to Joanna. Calm down and prioritize which responsibilities need a quick response and others can wait. And we also have a new participant, Anna. Hello. Welcome to our phrasal verbs workshop. Alex is saying that personally, I tell them to go and check themselves. Alex, I've got to agree with you. Go ahead and look. I'm not an employee here. I'm just living here. Have to agree with you there. But you know, we don't have a good phrasal verb for that. So, so we have to throw them down instead. So we have one answer here we've not used. Answer A. Let's talk about the phrasal verb here. Can anyone identify the phrasal verb in answer A? And Anna, hello, welcome. Where are you connecting from? Where are you from? Are you from Spain? Are you from Canada? Are you from Nicaragua? Are you from a different country? Let us know where you're from. And what is the phrasal verb in answer A? We told the children to calm down after the party. Who can identify the phrasal verb here? We told the children to calm down after the party. There's one phrasal verb. Who can identify it? And Anna is joining also from Spain. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. What's the phrasal verb in this answer, guys? Who can identify it? We told the children to calm down after the party. Of course, there are two verbs here. Who can identify the phrasal verb? So Mayra is writing calm down. Yes, well done. Calm down is the phrasal verb there. So what does calm down mean? Yeah, how do you say this in your language? Yeah, so imagine, for example, the person says, why are the children so calm? Yeah, why are the children so calm? Perhaps the response could be, we told the children to calm down after the party. How do you say calm down in your language? Some ways that we say this in English could be calm down. We could also say to settle down, to keep quiet, to keep silent, to not be rowdy, to be mature is another way we could say this. What about in your language? How do you say this? So Ana, yeah, I've got to agree with you. Ana, tranquilizarse is how we would say to calm down. So we can say this to children, to adults, really to anyone at all. So tomorrow, guys, we just have 3 minutes left in our workshop today. I want to invite you to tomorrow to our workshop at the same time. I just want to say, Alex, pipe down, another very good word for relajarse. You can use that to kind of be very direct for that. Go ahead, pipe down, children. Don't make so much noise. Nice phrasal verb. Well done. Robert asking a question. What is the difference between swallow down and swallow? Walk down and walk? Yeah, very good question. So swallow down and swallow, I would just say that down intensifies the meaning of swallow. So if you say swallow it down, for example, the one we looked at is when someone says, I don't like taking this pill. Let's see if we can go back. This was the first, yeah. I hate taking these pills. So yeah, no one likes taking pills, right? No one likes that. It's very unpleasant. So I think that what we use here, swallow it down, means, yeah, look, you've got to take them. You're not going to get better if you don't. It's not an option of A or B. You must take them, so swallow them down. Yeah, so it just kind of intensifies the verb swallow, just as we looked at with the particle up, that sometimes it intensifies the verb. Yeah, so that would be my explanation with swallow and swallow down. And then walk down and walk. So for that one, let's go back to our slide where we look at the particle patterns. Walk down would indicate a downward movement. So if someone is upstairs, you wouldn't say they need to walk downstairs. You should say that they need to walk down. That's a synonym of descend. To walk is different because that just means to move on a flat surface from one place to another place. So that would be how they're different in that respect in my explanation. So I hope that helps you understand. Let's just take a quick opportunity before we close to look at the words we'll look at in tomorrow's workshop. And if anyone would like to get a head start on what we're looking at tomorrow, take a screenshot of this video and begin working with these phrasal verbs. We'll be looking at hand down, run down, splash down, wear down, wind down, live down, write down, and also to let someone down. So those will be the verbs we're looking at tomorrow. Excellent job, everyone. Thanks for joining today. It's been a pleasure to have you. A great way to use our spare time. If you'd like to learn more about the different lessons I offer or know what students say about my classes, you're welcome to check my profile at italki.com/communicate. I hope to see you in our next class, which is going to be tomorrow at the same time. If you're interested in having a one-on-one class, you can also look for class type 2 on my profile. This is an offer for new students. You can take your first class at a discounted rate. So if you've been an italki student for a while, you probably don't have any more trial lessons. If you'd like to take an extended trial lesson, you can go to italki.com/communicate and look for class type 2. So everyone, Ana, Ruth, Virginia, Lucia, Alex, Mayra, Robert, Angel, Barbara, thank you very much for joining today's class. A big thanks to Jeffrey, who's running the scenes behind the scenes, running the technical aspects. So thanks very much for your help, Jeffrey. Let's all give him a big thumbs up and thank him for the work he does. Otherwise, everyone, have a wonderful evening. Stay very safe, and bye for now. Look forward to seeing you soon.